Hey guys, I'm back with another review. This one shouldn't take as long because there's less stuff that comes with this guy, but yes indeed I will be reviewing the Batman Arkham Knight GameStop exclusive Red Hood, brought to us by the folks at DC Collectibles. Kind of stoked to talk about this guy. There aren't a ton of reviews of him out there, and I know he's become a little bit rare, a little bit of a hot commodity, so I am proud to have him as a part of my collection. Other than that, it's just a damn cool figure. But before we get to that, we gotta talk about the box, which is your standard Arkham Knight box. I'm not sure if they all have the red backdrop. It says Red Hood there. Obviously, the GameStop exclusive, that's different. And then on the side, there's a picture of the Red Hood, and this is how he appears in the story pack missions that are exclusive to the GameStop pre-order, which is why probably this is the GameStop exclusive figure. That's the Bat logo at the top with the Batman suit. Got other figures you can get: Batman, Arkham Knight, Scarecrow, Harley Quinn as part of Series 1. They did release another Red Hood, but that was not this design. It was just basically from the end of the game, where he doesn't have the Arkham Knight outfit on anymore. He just has the red helmet and stuff, and he has like the Bat logo and all that stuff still on him, but it's not as cool, I think, as this design. This is probably one of my favorite Red Hood designs. That's why I'm sure this figure's become a hot commodity, because there is the other one that's less expensive, but this design is just cooler to me, and I guess I'm not the only one who feels that way. But that's the box out of the way. Let's talk about his accessories. Another reason I said the review probably won't take as long, he only comes with these accessories right here, which are his two freaking hand cannon pistols he's got here, which are gigantic for pistols. I don't think they are modeled after any real life pistol, because really the only thing could maybe be is a Desert Eagle. Those things are pretty big, but I don't think that would just be an inspiration, because these are not real guns. Just kind of stylized for the game and for the character. He was raised by Batman. I mean, he could probably invent some shit like this. I mean, he runs the army or whatever, if we're going by Arkham Knight continuity or whatever. But yeah, nonetheless they do look very cool. They have the bat, or sorry, it's not a bat, it's the bird logo. He has the Bat logo in the comics, but I kind of like that. They went with something different, kind of like the bird logo here, almost trying to do something different. In red there, Fallen Robin. Of course, it's gonna stop focusing now. But yeah, all the details are really well done with the handle. There's some rivets in there, some screws, got the slide, trigger. Looks like there might even be something on the bottom. That's why I said these things are like freaking hand cannons. I don't know if there's any little thing on the bottom there, if it's supposed to be anything. It isn't anything in the game. And oh, look at that, there's a sculpted barrel, unlike our pal Ash Williams, who we reviewed. That is a completely different company, but still, I appreciate that one. Recently I've seen a figure that doesn't have that for some reason. The sculpted hole in there for where the bullet comes out. But yeah, they look cool enough. They're colored well, they're painted well. It's not just one solid color. They didn't pull a Hasbro, but this DC Collectibles didn't really expect them to pull a Hasbro. It's really more of a dark brown for the handle, silver, and then the red, and some black for some other detailing in there. So that's it. So those are his only two accessories. As far as this guy himself, the man of the hour. I wonder if I move this, it will be better. Our man of the hour, Jason Todd here. Like I said, I'm a fan of this design. It's one of my favorite designs. It's a shame that the Red Hood story pack was such a freaking letdown, or a freaking scam or fraud. It wasn't even, like, I was hoping for something like maybe Harley Quinn's Revenge, but I mean, I guess that would have been a little too much to ask for a GameStop exclusive. That would be a pretty big add-on for something that exclusive, but I think that it did come out eventually for everyone later anyway, but still, it was a really short story pack, and I replayed it a bunch of times just because I like playing as Red Hood, and I like breaking people's necks and shooting people in the face, even though there's no blood. Even though the game was M-rated, they could have gone there if they wanted to. They really just kind of rated it M, I feel, just to be like, ooh, edgy. It isn't really any more violent than really any of the other Arkham games, at least in my opinion. But yeah, he's got a bulletproof vest on here. He's got some scratches on it, some cuts, some battle damage. He's got the bird logo painted on, which is very cool. It kind of looks like it's bloody. Like I said, Fallen Robin, it fits. This kind of looks like if he decided to ditch all the armor and just remake the costume himself, or make himself a new outfit. That's what he had on hand. Got these tactical pants. I believe on the sides of the pants, these are more clips for his pistols. These are big old, I think these are grenades. Maybe these freaking pistols do have grenade launchers on the bottom. That's what I was about to ask. I mean, if they are not usable in the game. Because that's why I was going to question that. I'm like, those look like those are grenade launchers on the bottom, but you can't do that in the game. I don't know. That'd be a little impractical, wouldn't it? That is video game logic. What are we talking about? Comic book logic. He's got the belt there. Looks good. The belt buckle. Nice silver, dirty silver paint apps there. Some more straps. Straps for the clips on the sides of his legs there. And he's got some shin armor here. Some boots. Once again, it's got some scuffing and some wear on there. The boots themselves are nice. They got that little silver strap over the foot, top of the foot here. This thing's still a little dusty, so it's been on my shelf for a while. But it goes to show you how much I like this guy. He's been on my shelf. He hasn't been relegated to the bin. On the back here, it's pretty cool. You got another cut there from like possibly a knife or something on the back of his jacket. I hate to ruin his nice jacket. That guy's probably dead. Or who are me kidding? He's definitely dead. He looks to have tried to stitch it up. Once again, he painted the bird logo on there. It looks very DIY, which I like. It's very cool. I really like the look of it. All the paint smears, and there's even like some areas where it's darker than others. Like he didn't go over it with as many paint layers as he could have to make the reds all line up and match, and also it's like red paint over white of the jacket, which makes it seem lighter. But it's just really good job with the detailing there, with just even that. And on the back, Red Hood butt, got some pockets. Sorry, never mind. I was gonna say if there's like a scuff on the back of his pants. I don't know. That would suck. See more of the straps there, the back of the straps where they clip in and stuff. Got his red hoodie on underneath the leather jacket, which you can tell they are not two separate pieces, but they are sculpted. So this is a separate sculpted, like they sculpted it to, it isn't like all flat, if you know what I'm saying with that, which is good. And you can even see like the drawstrings of the hoodie. An issue with the hoodie though is I've had some tearing, so you got to be kind of careful with it if you don't want to accidentally tear it off. Like one side of mine's basically gone. This side's the only thing that's holding it on still. If it does tear off, I'll probably have to super glue it, but yeah, just something to note. He's got the big old shoulder pads here with his jacket. Got some, see the padding there, the line work. I love how he just slapped a piece of tape on that freaking cut, and he's like, yeah, that's good enough, that's fine. But yeah, I think it appears he may have spray painted this bulletproof vest. It might have been black initially, and then he spray painted over it. And of course, he's got that helmet, which is pretty cool. Not sure how he sees out of it. It's probably like a one-way mirror. You can probably see out of it, but you can't see in. I like the design though. I've always liked this design. I like the fact that they made a red hood with an actual hood, so it looks pretty badass. And the helmet itself is pretty cool looking. You've seen it. You see it at the end of the game, like I said. It's pretty cool. Very like robotic looking almost. It's got no eyes, but it's also reminiscent of the original Red Hood, like Joker. Because he just had the helmet, but the helmet didn't have any eyes. It was another helmet where it's sort of the one-way mirror. I think that's what they were going for when they did this design. It's a shame that like the use of Jason Todd in the game itself is just like such a letdown, because this design is really cool, and I would have loved to like have him be incorporated into the game more so as the Red Hood, and maybe just have the Arkham Knight actually be an original character. Like maybe Jason could have been like a red herring or something. Pun not intended, but hey, what are you gonna do? I also like I dig the black and white of the leather jacket itself. It looks pretty cool. I've always wanted to cosplay this version of Red Hood, and now that I'm an adult person with a bit more of the moolah, still not a crazy amount, but maybe enough to pull this cosplay off, because I suck at the do-it-yourself stuff. I always have to just buy stuff online, buy all the separate parts and then piece it together. That's what I did with my Moon Knight cosplay that I did. As you can see, the sleeves of the red hoodie poking through there at the bottom too. It's got this where the bulletproof vest ends there at the neck. There might be some type of like zipper there. The what do you call it? It's not really a turtleneck, but it probably protects his neck from like knives and things of that nature. And there's some solid like paint wash going through like the pants to make them look dirtier. And like I said, with the vest itself, there's a mix of grays and whites, and maybe a little bit of black in there washed in. Like I said, it looks like it might have been like spray painted. It might have been black initially, and then he spray painted. Oh, nice detailing there on the sides too. I almost missed that. Almost forgot about that. Yeah, same on both sides here. I see the patterning there, the hex patterning, cross hatching. Looks very good. Very solid sculpt on this guy, and a very badass design for the Red Hood. Alright, time for articulation. So for Red Hood's articulation, like I said, the hood, you want to be careful not to tear it off. Knowing my luck, I'll probably do it on camera right here. The head can move, but I prefer to move it around at the chin so that I don't risk tearing the hood off even more. Moves left and right. Doesn't really look up. Looks down a decent amount though, even though it's hard to tell because it's all, he's got that one-way mirror helmet. You can still sort of tell though, because there is a little bit of sculpting underneath the eyes there that I forgot to mention, but you probably saw it. You can get a better look at his overall helmet though. That's a one perk to having his hood halfway torn off. But yeah, not too much movement with the head. You can move it a bit, but you have to be careful. And then his arms, they fully rotate. They go out pretty much parallel, which is good. He's got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, past 90, noise. He's got a rotation and hinge back and forth at the wrist. He's got a waist swivel, good ab crunch. I will say that when I first got him, the ab crunch was pretty tight, but once you get it loosened up, it's a good ab crunch. Waist twist, in case I didn't mention that. Legs kick forward and not too far. They kick back pretty much not at all. He has a thigh cut, but it's not where you would expect it to be, like maybe like up here. It's down here below the second strap here with where he holds his clips, his magazines. It's very well hidden, which is nice, always a nice touch. Double jointed knees, and then his ankles, they move forward, don't really move back too much due to his armor there on his lower legs. And he does have a bit of an ankle pivot though. It's not as like deep, I don't know what the word would be, so I'd like it to be, but you can still, it works obviously, as you can see. So it's not like you can't get him in any super crazy ninja poses, but you can get him in a decent amount of poses, especially for a DC Collectibles figures. Though I know their articulation has been improving steadily. Even after the release of this, they started their icons lines, which all have very, very good articulation. But for the sculpt that they had to work with this guy, and all things considered, it has pretty good articulation. You can get him in some pretty killer poses. And for the sake of completeness, I wanted to give you guys a closer view of his helmet up close. So you can see it from the side there. I can't pull his hood back and focus the camera at the same time, so he face plants way too much though. That's why he's got that scuff there on the side of his helmet. It's because he took a shelf dive. But also another thing I wanted to point out, trigger fingers, and they line up perfectly with the gun, so that is always appreciated when that works out. I hate it when figures come with pistols or guns and the trigger fingers don't fit where they're supposed to. That really irks me. I want to get him into some poses, but first I wanted to compare him to some other figures. Here's the Arkham Origins Deathstroke, and they are about the same height. Jason might be a little bit taller, though it could be just because of the hood, might add a little bit of height to him. They're very similar in height. I feel like Jason would be shorter than Deathstroke, but this isn't like a deal breaker or anything. He's not like crazy tall or anything like that. But yeah, they're about the same height, which is, it works fine. Especially when you pose them around, you're not going to notice it at all. I'll compare him with one other figure. So if you wanted to display this guy with DC-UC figures, that answers that. So pretty much a big fat nope there. He is too tall. But I mean, maybe if you crazy pose him around, or like if you're taking pictures like a CBA or something, you can mess with stuff like perspective and all that sort of thing to make it work. But if you're going with like a dial or something, it's probably not going to work. And I wouldn't really see this guy displaying well with even the DC Collectibles Icons figures, because I heard those are a little bit shorter. I don't own any of those, though I would be interested in a couple of them, but I hear they're like more almost DCUC sized figures. They're shorter figures, so this guy is really only in scale with Arkham figures and the older DC Collectibles figures that are not icons and are not like too, because the icons ones are shorter. So display him with the figures he's made to be displayed with, and all should probably be okay. Or if you just want a badass Red Hood on his own, that also works. I forgot to mention a little red there on the slide. That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. So as mentioned before, you can still get this guy into some pretty cool poses. Yes. Is this figure badass? Yes. Is this design of Red Hood badass? Yes. Is this worth the price point? It depends. Like I said, this figure's kind of hot now, so the price is a little bit high. So I say it really depends. It depends on if you're a die-hard Red Hood fan, or if you absolutely must have a figure of this Red Hood design. Which, if you're either of those, then go ahead and splurge and get this guy, because he is fucking cool. But if you can't afford it, or if you're only like a if you're only like I guess a casual Red Hood fan, I don't know what to call it, just think he's kind of cool or whatever, then maybe you just get like the Mattel Red Hood that just came out with the leather jacket, sort of almost under the Red Hood type design. Or I think DC Collectibles did another Icons version that also has that similar design, because that's also a pretty cool design of the Red Hood. That's probably my second favorite, is the under the Red Hood design. But if you gotta have this guy, then what can I say? You gotta have him. So you'll. It doesn't matter what I say anyway. You gotta get him, so you're gonna get him. But yeah, very cool figure. If you're a diehard fan, or you absolutely need this design, then go ahead and get it. I wish this wasn't rare. I wish they did maybe a re-release or something, because this guy is definitely one of the best Red Hood figures that have been released. Maybe the best Red Hood figure released. Period. So, yeah. And what do you know, the video's taken just as long as all my other ones, probably because, I didn't have to talk about the accessories as much, so I talked about the figure more than I usually did, or went off on more tangents about Red Hood shit. Well, anyways, hope you enjoyed it regardless, and I'll see you in the next one. Whatever it may be. God, that was cringe. Ugh.